Well, Danny, before looking back, let's look forward, because I guess you've got Coventry, you've got Cardiff. If this is when you kind of get, those previous games were great and we'll touch on them, but this is a real taste, I guess, now of what you're going to expect throughout the regular season, isn't it?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, playing back-to-back against two tough competitors and, obviously, firstly, going into Cardiff, never easy to go there. And we'd mixed results there last season, couple games where we were in control of games and then let them slip. So, like I said, loud building, never easy to go down there. And obviously, coaching change there with Tomo there. And obviously, I know him quite well, and he'll have those guys drilled. So, tough. And then coming back home. Coventry's always a tough battle, rivalry as well. And, it'll be a good test for us, really good test.
I want to push you on the Tomo question, because I know you've coached against him before, but how much are you looking forward to kind of doing that battle again with Tomo?
Yeah, no, it's exciting. Obviously, we've kept in touch over the years and picked each other's brains a lot in terms of coaching and dealing with players and stuff. So to be back coach, I think, when I coached against him before, I was still kind of a player coach. And then in my first year in Cov, we had a couple times where we coached again, but never really as both guys as the head coach on the bench for a full season. So, it's exciting. It's exciting. Obviously, I do wish him well personally, but obviously not so much from a team standpoint.
And what about Coventry? Because, they had a great year last year. They probably, defied some people who thought they'd finish lower down. Yes, they've lost a few players, but they've cherry-picked a few good players from other teams have gone to them. Where do you see how they might do this year?
Yeah, I think, I know it was a good season for them. It was, a mid-table finish is always, I think, a good season in terms of that. I know, as a coach, I'm sure he's not happy with that. As back in my day, I was never satisfied with that either. But I think they certainly lost some key players that they had last year, and but I think generally there's always going to be a bit of a turnaround with most teams, and certainly they've had to go through that. So some key additions there from guys that have been on winning teams and contending teams. So it looks like they've done a good job again, and again will be a tough test for sure.
Let's just go back and start with Manchester. I'm sure you've had time to look back at the tapes. I wonder how you felt, you guys. Yes, you got the win, but Manchester plays with a bit of physical edge. How much do you think the guys stood up to that task?
Really good. I think, I think on paper, I coming into the season, I felt like Manchester has got better. Seeing them in the first game, it's still early days, but there's always that element of, home opener, guys excited, and they sure came out and pushed the pace and the physicality. And I would like to think if they played like that, consistently throughout the year, it'll be a tougher place to go this year for all teams. And it was a great test for us. And to manage that, especially for our new guys going in for the very first time, you can prepare them all you want, but you just nothing can prepare you until you get in there and you have that half second less on the puck, and you're getting bumped way quicker than you're used to, and going to the hard areas, and it's just one of those things that you have to experience. And but I think we managed it great. We found ourselves down in that game and found a way back and got a late goal there by Ollie, and just a hard-working play, and nice setup from Deeds.
And then against Amiens, and look, this is something we talked about last season, scoring in bunches. Do you know what I mean? And you did that twice. I think you went 2 in 18, 2 in 17 in that game. How important to you is that those habits are there again so early?
Yeah, that just sometimes that can turn a game on its head. And coaches, we talk about momentum shifts nonstop, and you score 2 in that sequence, that can really change the course of a game and a result. Really good to see. Again, was took us a while to kind of break them down. They defended well in the sense they didn't give a lot up in the middle of the ice. We had a lot of possession on the outside, and I think probably a bit guilty of overplaying at times and trying to pass the puck into the net instead of being more direct at times. But at the same time, we got a lot of talent on our team. We got a lot of poise. So it's up to me to kind of find that balance between overplaying, but also allowing the guys to use their creativity and their poise. So, that's going to take some time, but, happy with the result, happy with the performance for sure.
And talking of getting that balance, you've kind of set yourselves on some lines. Obviously, Matt Alfero's been missing with injury, but how happy are you to see that kind of all the way through the lines in the opening two weekends of the season, you've been getting contributions?
Yeah, really good. Thrilled, actually. You know, on the score sheet wise, you know, those top three lines have obviously been there, you know, consistently. And we wanted three lines. Like I'm, you know, ask the guys, I hate the kind of line one, line two, line three mentality. And, you know, we wanted three lines that could definitely come in and score. And we wanted that fourth line to be responsible, that we could send out against any team's top lines and any situation in a game. And, you know, that might change throughout the course of the year, but, you know, we certainly got a lot of confidence in that line when they're together with Ollie, Finn, and Kells. And then through an injury, you know, Ollie's been able to play up and, you know, had a couple goals through that as well. So when you have that depth, it's so important. And, you know, injuries happen throughout the year, and performances go up and down at times. So having that versatility to use different guys in different situations is a game changer. And, you know, especially in a league where the league title is so coveted.